Well, welcome back then to the Wuxi Classic. Reanne Evans lost the first frame. She had chances to win it. Zhu, though, took that opening frame. Very fragmented first frame, though. Reanne Evans certainly had the stronger start. Change to the commentary box now. Tim Peters and Neil Foulds taking you through the remaining frames of this match. The winner of this match will face Neil Robertson. Tremendous match to look forward to if Reanne could come through it. Well, what a performance it would be, and it's a tough match this, though. As I say, a very good day to my colleague Neil Foulds. Neil, and there is Reanne, very focused. Great to see her playing out in China. And big ask this, though.
Yeah, it is a difficult match, and it's unfortunate that she had to play a wild card. I think we all understand that as we see that shot go wrong. And you heard, well, a few people have said that maybe she shouldn't have played a wild card, and the fact remains the rules have changed on wild cards now, and basically drawn out randomly that the 4 of the players who have got through will play a wild card. That's how it works. If you play one in one tournament, then you won't have to face another one for the rest of the season. And people are saying, well, in Reanne Evans, perhaps she should have been put straight through to play that. Would have been a mouth-watering game against Neil Robertson, but the rules are there, aren't they? And you start bending the rules, someone of the opposite sex, male or female, then I guess you get into very murky waters, don't you? If her name was drawn out, then I'm afraid, sadly, and really sadly, that's the way it is. If she can get through, then all the better. And nothing will be lost. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the game who are praying that she does win this match, because Yinghui will be very much focused on getting the job done, and for him to face Neil Robertson, don't forget that it would be a big deal for him as well. But that's the way it is, and it has divided opinion in the game since it was announced that Reanne would be playing in this round.
It's much more like it from Zhu. He certainly had a first frame where he had a few nerves as well, but he did manage to come through it, stealing the frame on the black. Had some decent results over the last 12 months. Remember him beating Michael Holt 12 months ago, 5-1.
Yep, and up until the start of this season, there were 8 wildcard players, and invariably 2 or 3 would beat main tour opposition. Combination of the fact they're learning quickly, and also there's no jet lag involved. They're usually based in China, these players, and they're travelling across the country to play. It's got a nice little cue action though, quite solid. I like the way he hits the ball. This season sees the real changing of the guard, really, because Liu Hushan, who at 14 reached the quarterfinals of the international last year, losing to Neil Robertson incidentally in that round, and he's now taken the transition from being a wildcard player to getting it on the main tour this season. He's only 15, and I think special dispensation was asked from the Chinese government that he could be relieved of his studies and could play snooker professionally, because it was always age 16 that you needed to be a professional. So he is on the tour, and he's playing in this event, playing Craig Steadman, and well, he's had to qualify for this event, so now he's here as of right. He's not a wild card anymore. You may get a chance to see more of him as the week progresses, because he's a fine prospect. as I was saying, a very compact little short cue action, which in some ways means there's less that can go wrong. No extravagant backswing. Not the best of shots, that one. Got a choice of reds. He's on the one in the middle there, then he's a little fortunate. That's just turned up from nowhere, that one. But this time, position has certainly gone wrong.
We'll be disappointed with that. That was an excellent chance to win the frame in one visit. So a chance to try and put a colour safe. He selected the blue. A bit short of pace, but he's got a good cue ball. I think Reanne will just be pleased to be back at the table. Must have been fearing the worst. It's not bad. Reanne was doing quite a lot of press before this match. So she's been very much at the forefront of the build-up to this event in China. Did really well to get here. Had a big win, didn't she, to qualify. Beating Thapchua Anua 5-4. That was a very, very good win, Neil, because Anua is a very, very good player. He's
a promising player, actually. He's a very fluent left-hander from Thailand. I guess he probably felt the pressure playing lady player, and whichever way you look at it, the rights and wrongs of it, whether you should feel under pressure playing anybody in particular, but he wouldn't have wanted to lose that match. Let's just put it that way. Nobody wants to lose at all, but he probably felt it. But Reanne is a terrific player. There's no doubt about that. And we saw Alison Fisher, of course, many years ago, and Mike Hallett and myself actually once fell victim to her in the Premier League. She was just too good on that given day. I think she also had results against Jimmy White and Tony Drago, and she was good. I suspect that Reanne might even be a little bit better than Alison, who played to a high level. And there will be a lot of interest in this worldwide, I think, from snooker people. You don't see the crossing over, do you, of men playing women in many sports. I think it happens in bowls occasionally, happens in darts occasionally. Obviously, in other sports, there are many women jockeys in horse racing, but that feels like a slightly different thing. But it would be most unusual to see a contest like this, wouldn't it, Tim?
Absolutely. I think it's fascinating, this. She has been on the main tour once before, but didn't win a match, unfortunately, Reanne, and dropped off again, and she's not been able to get back on. Although she had some decent results in the Q school, which enabled her to be in the qualification for this. And she took a chance. And if she was on the plane, when you consider that Shaun Murphy's not here, Mark Selby didn't qualify. Although Mark Selby did play in the PTC in Asia, first one during the week, and made the final before losing to Joe Perry.
No, you make a good point. The fact that she made it on the plane and those top players, Selby and Murphy, didn't. I mean, for that she should be pleased. But of course, there's no getting away from the fact that if she was to lose here, it would be a bit of a damp squib, I think, for all concerned. So it's a difficult match for us. Well, we've seen the difficulties of being wildcard players, as we mentioned. Invariably, results are gained. They do damage in these events, without ever being capable of winning one. Although, of course, if you go back far enough, there's a wildcard, Yinghui, managed to win the China Open, but I mean, he was, of course, a very exceptional player. I happen to remember playing in Thailand once, and there were a couple of wildcard players. I played a local Chinese Asian lad, who was good, managed to get through, and poor old Nigel Bond was up against the wild card, who was Marco Fu, who absolutely wiped the floor with poor old Nigel. And I think, well, thank heavens I didn't draw him. And we've seen since that he's a world-class player now.
Meanwhile, that was frame ball, wasn't it? Not taken. So Reanne gets back to the table.
With an awkward one here. I mean, how do you like these? She's queuing over the blue, she is, on this. If she goes for that red, anything else, I mean, what would you do? Tries to get the red out on the left of the table, then she does so, but she sticks the other one still there that she can't get to now. This is not a nice shot to be left with. She's taking the risk and trying to hide that red, but how is she going to do it? Well, that's not a bad effort. She's given a chance, but the pressure's on.
Pots the red, 63 in front. 59 left on the table, so effectively it is frame ball. That's a good pot, actually. Has he had a bit of luck on the colour? Struck it well. Clean pot. With the pink going in, that will surely mean the second frame to Zhu. As our referee, Zhu Jin. So Reanne won't score a point in this second frame. Zhu Yinghui will be much happier. He's settled down now. Needed a couple of chances here, though. Reanne will be a bit disappointed. The first frame maybe still playing on her mind a little bit. That's a good pot. Well, it was. He went in off. But I don't think Reanne will come back to the table. It's 69-4. Let's have a look. In fact, I should say, yeah, she's not coming back to the table, is she?
No, conceded the frame, and a frame that she was never really in there